Hi there, welcome back. Today I have another paycheck routine video for you. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Sydney. I am not someone who has a house paid off and has a six-figure portfolio, but rather I am actually in the trenches of navigating my finances. Right now, I am working to pay off debt. I am also learning to budget every dollar, and I am building my financial freedom one paycheck at a time. If you are feeling behind or you feel like no one is showing the real messy middle of their finances and just navigating day to day life while inflation is sky high and wages are not keeping up, then you are totally in the right place because I am sharing with you real numbers as well as mistakes I make, as well as just navigating and learning from those mistakes and the progress that I have made so far in building up my finances and just navigating this path towards financial freedom. In this paycheck routine video, I am going to be showing you how I am budgeting using a zero-based budget. So that way I can give every dollar a job, because something that I've learned so far is that it's so important to be intentional, especially when you're building from the ground up. All right, as we dive right in, I have my matcha here because I need a little bit of caffeine. Matcha is my beverage of choice typically. So if you want to go ahead and grab a tea, coffee, or matcha, we are just going to get started. I am going to break down my paycheck that I recently received, and I'm going to go over the deductions. By the way, if you are new here, I am 28 years old and I live in rural Montana with my fiance and my dog. I do not have any children. And I don't know if I've shared this before, but me and my fiance, we do not have a combined or shared bank account. And we do split our like major living expenses like our rent, utilities, um, any other kind of like home bills and stuff, we typically split. But other than that, our finances are separate. And that's kind of what works for us right now. I don't know if that'll change in the future, but for now, we don't have a shared bank account or anything like that. We just keep our finances and expenses separate. Now, diving into my paycheck, for my gross pay, I earned $2,810.68 for this paycheck, which I was paid on July 15th. And I am paid semi monthly, which means I get paid on the 15th of every month as well as the last day of every month. And so for my net pay, my take home pay, I ended up taking home $2,106.70. Now, I do want to preface that in my paycheck routine videos, you are seeing a different number each paycheck because my company offers benefits where I'm able to get certain things reim- reimbursed, such as healthcare expenses, because we have a wellness stipend, as well as some tech expenses, because we also have a tech stipend. So that's why right now a lot of my paychecks are fluctuating, but I am a salary employee and I earn $65,000 a year working as an HR generalist for a tech company. Okay, now for the employee taxes withheld, for my federal income tax, they took out $256.18. For Medicare, they took out $39.92. Social for Social Security, they took out $170.70. And then for Montana state withholdings, they took out $115. Now, for my other deductions, medical deductions, they took out $29.50 for my insurance. And then they took out $2 for my dental insurance, $1 for vision, 0 for long term disability. And then for life deductions, they also took out 0. And then for my HSA, I contribute $50 each month or $25 per paycheck because my company does a $600 match. So as I'm contributing $25 each paycheck, my company is matching that up to $600 per year. And also, I recently learned that I can immediately start investing the money in my HSA account if I'm not using it towards medical expenses. So I thought that was super cool. And I've already selected to invest my initial first $100 into ETFs. Now for my 401k, I am taking advantage of my company's 4% match, and I am having 4% of my paycheck taken out each paycheck period. And this time they took out $112.33 to put into my Roth 401k. And that is it for all of my deductions. And like I said, my take home pay was $2,106.70. Now I'm going to dive into how I am budgeting this paycheck, and I will be using a zero-based budget. I find it easier for me to just estimate what I assume my paycheck is going to be each pay period. And then I take a look and keep in my calendar when I know my monthly bills are going to be taken out, such as my rent, utilities, phone bill, car payment, car insurance, all of that. I have it in my calendar of when it typically is drawn out, and that is how I organize my paycheck, and I keep track of when things are coming out, so that way I have an idea of exactly what's coming out each paycheck. And so that way there's no surprises. I just want to say, when I'm doing these paycheck routine videos, they're not really glamorous, they're not sexy or exciting or fun. They're honestly just very real because there's not a lot of wiggle room or money left over for discretionary spending. I am truly budgeting every dollar, and a lot of it is going towards debt. So, for this paycheck, I ended up having to pay my car insurance, which was $106, my internet bill, which was $120, my phone bill, which was $31.10. For groceries, I already did my Costco run, and I ended up spending $205.14, which I'm pretty happy about because I had actually budgeted $250. So I realized I didn't need as much as I had intended or thought I was going to buy. And when I went there, I was able to just stick to my budget, which I was really excited about. And then for gas, I already filled up for this pay period. So typically for gas, I try to just fill up one time during each pay period. And I have been doing more driving than usual this entire summer, truly, because I've had a lot of doctor's appointments and physical therapy appointments, which require me to drive about an hour and 15 minutes away to my nearest large city, which is why I have been spending more on gas than I typically would. So my gas was $43.71, and I always make sure to fill up at Costco because it is the best price for gas. Next, in this paycheck, HBO Max was taken out for $4.99. And then for my medical expenses, I'm actually happy because it came in a little under than I was expecting. And my total for my healthcare medical expenses that I'm paying for out of pocket, because I am seeing a naturopathic doctor as well as going to PT. And my health insurance has a really high deductible of $3,000. And it's the naturopath medicine is not covered under my insurance. And honestly, I didn't think going to physical therapy was going to meet my deductible. And I was told that I would likely be paying more if I ran it through my insurance. So I've been paying PT as well as seeing the naturopath doctor as well as medical lab work out of pocket. This pay period, I owed $650.80 for my doctor visits, lab work, PT, and yes, as you may or may not know, if you're new here, I am working right now on just kind of getting to the root causes of some health issues and health concerns that I am dealing with. And then, okay, the exciting part is that I made a really large dent in my credit card again. Last pay period, I paid $1,000 towards my credit card. And this pay period, I'm excited to say, I paid $900 towards my credit card. I am honestly so grateful because that actually brings my credit card balance down from $5,153.48 to now $4,253.48. So I am hoping to make another, well, actually, I don't know if for the next pay period I'm gonna be making as large of a payment, which I will go over in the next uh, paycheck routine video, just because I have my partner's birthday coming up, and then I'm just kind of budgeting for some other things. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm hoping to have my credit card paid off either the first week of September, or who knows, it might just be mid to end September. So I'm just so happy that I was able to make such a large payment towards my credit card. And then $20 went towards investments. So every other week, I have $20 taken out and going into my Roth IRA. I know it's not a lot, but what I've been telling myself on this journey of paying off debt, feeling like I'm behind, and just feeling like I should be investing more when I really can't at this moment is that slow and steady wins the race. If you are feeling like behind in your investing journey and just wishing that you were contributing more to your 401k or Roth IRA, just remind yourself that small steps every day add up to really big wins. And I have seen such a huge growth in my portfolio. If you want me to share what I'm investing in and maybe a little bit about just my investment journey, feel free to comment down below and let me know. And yeah, that's just kind of been my mindset when it comes to balancing paying bills and paying for medical expenses, as well as just trying to pay off debt while still investing and growing my retirement account is slow and steady wins the race. And I'm trying not to be too hard on myself because I know right now my major goal and priority is to pay down my credit card debt and then move on to my student loans. And so then in my savings went $24.96. I know that's not a lot, but we don't have a lot of room right now to save because so much of my paycheck is going towards my credit card. And that leaves me with $0 left. And that is how I ended up allocating my entire paycheck, this paycheck routine. So, like I said, it wasn't super glamorous or exciting. It was very real. And as you can see, I have very little expenses that are like miscellaneous or shopping or just not within the necessary bill type category. I have really cut out so many expenses that are unnecessary. Used to have Amazon. I cut that out because I didn't need it. I used to have just various subscriptions to different types of things that I was like, okay, you know what? If I'm going to get serious about paying off my debt, serious about growing my long term wealth and financial freedom and reaching financial freedom, then I need to cut out unnecessary items, live below my means, and only keep what is absolutely necessary. So that is what my paycheck routine looks like this time around. I hope that this was a little bit helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. Also, feel free to let me know maybe what you're struggling with in budgeting your paycheck or how that is going, or maybe share any wins that you have had in budgeting your expenses. And I would love to just continue to chat about it in the comments. I love hearing your guys' stories, your advice, your feedback, and also just sharing with me your lessons learned as well as your wins. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, which I will be sharing how I am paying off debt, what's working for me, and just diving a little bit deeper into that. So stay tuned for that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.